Sex appeal, the forgotten and missing ingredient in a lot of man nowadays. This is the reason a lot of normies are better looksmaxers than most black pillars. While the black pillars focus on the distance of their eyes, guys who actually understand how to be sexually attractive do transformations like this. Sex appeal is a difficult concept to explain, but in simple terms, it is the quality of being attractive in a sexual way. Not being just cute, not just being objectively attractive, but also being sexually attractive. A girl looks at you and she wants to hop on bed with you. Imagine there's two girls. Who do you find the most aesthetically attractive? Probably the girl number one. Now who do you find the most sexually attractive? Probably girl number two, if you are being completely honest with yourself. The same can be applied to men, but for some reason in this community, a lot of guys still don't understand this simple concept. They don't understand why guys like Michael B. Jordan, Nick Bateman, or Ryan Gosling, and so many more are simped by millions of women, while not having perfectly aesthetic model tier faces. But wait a minute, I know guys. I know what some of you will say. You will say it is because of status. So I had to save this one last guy, which you cannot use the status card to prove a point. So meet our subject. Upon first inspection, I'm willing to bet that a lot of you will say that he is just a normie. No chance for him to ever level up. His eye area is too bad and he has a very long mid-face. So to a lot of you, especially the most hardcore doomers, it is over for this guy. But instead, this is how this guy looks now. Still, a lot of you are still calling this guy a 4 PSL on the forums, which, you know, it tells a lot about your mental state. And ironically enough, a very few will now point out his height and say that he always had the potential. However, the only thing that matters is that this guy now has the SMV of a Chad, he gets very good results on online dating, and in real life he gets this sort of reactions. So now that we saw what's possible, what can you do as a guy to improve your sex appeal? It starts internally, and it ends with style. But style is just the icing on the cake, guys. Without the base, the style is not going to do much at all. Your body is the foundation for you to be able to max your sex appeal. An overweight man is not able to dress with sex appeal. A skinny twink will not be able to dress with sex appeal either. You have to focus on building the correct aesthetic proportions to build sex appeal. Muscles like shoulders, upper chest, neck, and traps are the muscles who increase sex appeal the most. Funny enough, those are also the muscles with the highest concentration of androgen receptors. Particularly neck is a very underrated muscle. A thick neck increases facial masculinity and helps strengthen the visual appearance of your jaw area. You don't want an overly thick neck though. It should ideally be no wider than your jaw. And on the screen you can see how these men literally lose a ton of appeal just by having a thinner neck. Facial hair is a sexually dimorphic trait that makes men look more attractive. On the screen right now, you see examples of peak sex appeal in males. A full beard, however, is not attractive, as it could be hiding facial fat or a weak lower third. With light stubble, you get the best both worlds. You still display your lean lower third, but you show that you have the ability to grow facial hair, which is a masculinizing trait. There are, however, exceptions to this rule, particularly white blonde phenotypes, who might do better with clean shaven, especially when they are very young. This is one of those things where you gotta experiment with it and see if you actually look better. If you can't grow facial hair, consider watching one of my videos on how to Looksmaxx. If you have lighter colored eyebrows, it would be in your best interest to darken them up and get them thicker if they are thin. You can see what sort of difference it makes in this side-by-side comparisons. Guys with dirty blonde hair will benefit a lot by darkening their eyebrows. Dark features in general add a ton of sex appeal. This is originally where the tall, dark, and handsome saying came from. One thing that is not often talked about enough is deep voice. A deep and masculine voice can turn on a woman just by itself. You don't believe me? Check this out.
So, tell me the truth. Does my voice do anything to you?
Yeah, it kind of gives away.
People say I'm like Will Smith. Have you ever seen Hitch?
Yeah, I've seen Hitch.
Well, they say my name is like Switch because I can turn girls on with my voice. I'm kind of imagining myself making out with a big sheet of hair right now, so. I'm gonna give you my phone, and I want you to put your number in. So what do you think about my voice?
It's very deep. I like your voice. Your voice is pretty soothing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's low.
Is it sexy?
Maybe a little bit.
So question, when you first heard my voice, what did you think?
I love your voice a lot.
You love it a lot, wow.
I love it. It's really deep and hot.
Now, some of the ways to get your voice a little bit deeper would be to relax your neck muscles. These muscles are called the sternocleidomastoids, and when they get tense, they tug on your vocal cords, resulting in a higher-pitched voice. Relax these, and logically enough, your voice gets lower. One recommended way of doing this is by making the neck muscles stronger. Stronger muscles are better at meeting their daily demands and therefore less likely to tighten up throughout the day. Another way is to start speaking from the diaphragm instead of your throat. As you inhale, try to shift the effort downwards so your stomach flexes out while your shoulders remain completely still. Feel as though the air is being summoned by your abs. You can see how this guy is doing it on the video. Overall voice is one of things you cannot change much, but if you increase your testosterone, develop your neck, and overall from the masculinization process that starts from puberty, your voice will tend to get a little bit deeper over time. Now we are moving on to the things that are the cherry on top. These are your overall style with your clothing fit, tattoos, and jewelry. You have to dress in a way that accentuate your physique. This is why without your body, you cannot dress with sex appeal. You want clothes that are fitted, not super tight and not super loose either. This means when you go out for shopping, it is critical for you to try out the clothes and make sure they are fitted. You're going to show off a bit of your physique by revealing skin. Think about how a hot girl would dress, but instead you are the male version of it. Button-down shirts revealing a bit of your upper chest, vests revealing your arms, shoulders, and some tattoos you might have. You basically have to dress in a more provocative way, but of course this only works when you truly have an impressive lean aesthetic body, and you also don't want to overdo it. You always want to do it in a subtle way without pushing it too far. It is also a good idea to invest in a good tailor. A lot of the times you aren't going to find clothes that fit 100%, so this is when a good tailor come into the picture. Tattoos increase sex appeal, but mostly when you have a good body. Now let's talk about accessorizing with jewelry. It really goes a long way, and it doesn't need to be complicated. All you need is a necklace, a nice watch, and a bracelet. You don't have to go crazy with a bunch of chains, multi-bracelets, none of that. All you need is to go simple just to make your outfits pop a little more and increase your sex appeal. Whether you go for silver or gold, it's totally up to you, and you gotta find what works best on you. As a rule of thumb, cool undertones will look the best with silver, and warm undertones will look the best with gold. It's all about sex appeal, guys. Don't get me wrong, you still need the underlying aesthetics, but you best believe if you have a pale skin complexion, you don't have a lean athletic body, you dress like a bum, your hair is bad, etc., you will lose a ton of appeal, and you will always be categorized more like a cute type of guy, instead of being considered hot. If you are not quite sure where exactly you stand on the current dating market value, and you want detailed, personalized Looksmaxxing advice, you can order a facial and SMV analysis from me on this website. The link will be in the description and comments. That's it for today. Feel free to drop a comment below sharing your thoughts about this video and what you would like to see me talk about in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys soon.